Okay, this talk is about increasing and decreasing functions. My name is Jody DeVoe. We're going to take a look at this particular function here, f of x equals 3x to the fourth minus 4x cubed minus 12x squared plus 5. And I thought maybe you would like to follow along by graphing this in your graphing calculator. And I've given you the window that would be appropriate to see it in. That's x min -2, x max 3, x scale 1, y min -30, y max 20, and y scale 5. So I'll give you a minute or two to stick that in your calculator if you'd like to in that particular window. And when you're ready, we're going to take a look at that graph, and I've reproduced it here on my paper. Okay, so here is my function. Again, that's f of x equals 3x to the fourth minus 4x cubed minus 12x squared plus 5. And I've drawn a rough sketch here on my graph paper. What we're interested in is where this function is increasing and decreasing. Now, I'm assuming that you have already watched the short video about what increasing and decreasing means. And what we're looking at then on this graph is what we're focusing on is where is y increasing and decreasing? Where are the y values going up? Where are the y values going down? And once we determine that, then we will give the x intervals as to where the y values are increasing, and then the x values as to where the y values are decreasing. So in terms of what's increasing and decreasing, we're focusing on the y values as we travel from left to right. Okay, that's important to realize. We're always going to travel from left to right, just like you read. Okay, so let's just kind of take our pen here and trace along this function. And as I trace the function traveling in the direction from left to right, we can see that the function is decreasing. That is, the y values are going down all the way through this interval until they get to x equal -1, and they're going to switch directions, and the y values are going to increase. And that happens until we get to this point here at x equals 0, where the function values, the y values, will continue to decrease through this negative range. They'll get smaller and smaller till we get to this bottom minimum point, and we'll change directions again, and we'll go up from that point on. Okay? So first up is I've just kind of gone in there and traced along the curve, made some arrows indicating where things are increasing and where they're decreasing. Now what I want to focus on next then is the x values where the function is increasing and decreasing. Okay, so let's focus right in this first part here where the function values are going down, they're decreasing, and I'm just going to draw some lines down to the x-axis. Okay, and these are the x values then that we want to focus on. All of these x values in this range until things get down right there at -1, and that's where they switch direction. So if I want to say then what are the x values where these y values are decreasing, the x values are going, because this continues on to the left here, it's going to go from -infinity. Okay, those are all these x values down in this direction. Those are all going to correspond to y values that are decreasing as I move to the right. And it goes up to x equal -1. So for all of these x values, from -infinity up to -1, all of the y values are going to go down. They're decreasing. Okay, now that happens until -1, and then at -1, the y values now are going to increase. Okay, and that happens all the way from x equal -1 up to this point right here at x equal 0. So again, if I draw those lines in there corresponding down to the x-axis, I can see that the x values that I'm interested in, where the y values are increasing, are the x values from -1 up to x equals 0, where the y values then start to decrease. Okay, so I'm going to put from -1 up to 0, And in that range, the y values are increasing. Okay, now they've switched direction again from x equals 0. They're decreasing, they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller until I go down here to x equal 2, and then at x equal 2 they change direction again. So now I'm interested in these x values here. Again, I'm going to just draw some lines in here. Interested in all of these x values until things turn around at x equal 2. So now this time the x values that I'm interested in are the x values from 0 up to 2, where things start to change direction again. And in that range, the y values are all going down. They're decreasing. Okay? In the last section of the graph, where it ends out increasing, that happens from 2. Again, I'm going to draw these lines up to the x-axis so we can focus on those x values. That happens from x equal 2, and then it just keeps happening forevermore, because this graph just keeps on increasing and increasing, okay, beyond where we see. So from 2 to forever, okay, we're going to say from 2 to infinity, then the y values are all increasing. Okay, so let's take this information then that we have and kind of organize it a bit better. So I want to give the intervals where the function is increasing. Okay, and those intervals would be, well, let's go back up here. We have an up arrow for the x values between -1 and 0, and also for the x values from 2 to infinity. Okay, it's customary to put a union sign. Again, this symbol here stands for union, saying that these are both regions where the function is increasing. So I have -1 to 0, union 2 to infinity. Those are places where the function is increasing. Now the decreasing intervals then happen from -infinity up to -1, union again. They're also decreasing between x equals 0 and x equal 2. Okay, I hope this helped.